The average person is said to spend 15 minutes in the bathroom. Why not take advantage of that time and learn something new? Presenting the 15-minute podcast on weird facts, crazy details, and funny particulars that you'll be able to enjoy while you're taking a on your free time. Welcome to This Shit with Sam Butler. Welcome to another episode of the Shit Podcast. I'm your host, Sam Butler. I'm happy to be here with you guys again. Thank you for tuning in, listening, all of our listeners. We actually have a special guest that's a good friend of mine. Started comedy maybe 10, 12 years ago, but he's here with us today. He is from El Paso, Texas, where I'm from. We kind of rolled in the same comedy scene. Welcome, dude, Adrian Monroy.
Howdy. How you doing? Trying to keep it Texas.
Yeah. Hey, man, thanks for coming out, bro. I know that we're in Mexico and people are like, hey, you got to be careful in Mexico. But I think you're okay.
Yeah, the way things are in the U.S. right now, sometimes I feel safer out here. Dude, so,
yeah. You don't work in a school, do you?
No.
We're in a supermarket now for nowadays, dude, right? No. It's like, damn. And I know this is going to sound crazy to a lot of people, but I'm starting to kind of suspect, like, I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but this is just too much coincidence in the stuff that's happening. I'm almost thinking, like, is this like an MK Ultra kind of thing? Is this like a mind control? Are they sending these guys in to do this stuff so that they can pass gun control laws? I don't know. It's just kind of suspicious to me. It's like,
I think you give the government too much credit, man.
Too much credit?
Yeah, way too much credit, dude. Like
You don't think so?
I just got a friend that got a government job and he had to jump through so many hoops to get hired. So yeah. I
don't know. I mean, it's weird, right? It's like none of it makes sense. Maybe it's cabin fever. People are sick of just being locked up for so long. I don't know.
Too much time. Idle hands, man. Idle hands. So, which is why we're doing a podcast. So
that's right. We had too much time on our hands. We had to figure something out. We're like, hey, what can we do? Let's do a podcast, but here's a twist. Let's do it in Mexico. Yeah. But here we are.
It was really weird because Sam's one of the you're one of the guys that I was kind of lurking in the comedy scene when you were doing it in El Paso, and I you taught me a lot of the structure of stand up. And now you're bringing me to Mexico to do stand-up. So I'm like, all right, Sam.
Yeah, and so it welcome, bro. I mean, Mexico is such a great market for stand-up comedy. Yeah. There's so many things happening. The fans are so eager and happy and grateful to have you doing comedy. So it's one of those things that, a lot of people might knock it because they're ignorant and don't know any better. But this is actually probably one of the hottest scenes in the world as far as comedy is concerned. And I'm happy to be part of it, and I'm happy to bring you along with me. So thanks for coming out here and doing shows with us and working your bilingual comedy, because that's what it is. It's comedy in two languages. So
it's one of the hurdles I tried to overcome, because I think in English I'm pretty comfortable. Because of COVID, everybody's kind of getting the rust off doing stand-up. But man, doing it in Spanish, it's like more of a challenge.
What's going to happen is going to make your English comedy that much better.
Really?
It's insane, but it's almost like you're working a different muscle. And when you get that muscle worked out, you feel like, well, why was this so hard to do it over here? This is really hard.
Yeah.
Right? It's almost like when they make you punch a bag with one arm and one arm tied here, and then they give you both arms. You're like, I got two arms. Like, I can actually. So this Spanish comedy has actually made me a better English stand-up.
Yeah, so if you could do it.
Yeah, because it's like you're forcing yourself to take it to another level. So if you think my English comedy is mediocre, well, I was worse than I am now. So I went from mediocre to a little bit less mediocre with doing it in Spanish. So I'll take it. Anything is progress, right?
Yeah.
This is a long-term career. And dude, speaking of lurking in the comedy scene, which you were. I mean, I remember you would come around, Tony C would come around, you guys would just kind of hang out. You couldn't make up your mind if you were going to get on stage or not get on stage. Yeah. You had your little set list that you didn't want to share. But what people don't know, especially some of our viewers, they get to know you actually were a musician.
Yeah.
And were you in bands and stuff, or were you just more of a studio kind of guy?
I mean, as a kid, I picked up a guitar and started playing punk music and rock music. So I was never a formal musician, but
I know Tony was.
Tony was, yeah.
He was Tony Acoustic, and then he became Tony C in the comedy world, right? And you guys have a bromance right now that's pretty.
Yes, it's funny because he and I we met at a call center, and our first mandate was at Guitar Center, ironically, and. Every girlfriend he's ever had, every girlfriend I've ever had has been extremely jealous of our bromance. But no, I joined his band, Tony Acoustic, and then I quit a job and I gave myself like a 3-4 month hiatus, and I just didn't know what to do in that time. And that's when we saw your flyers for
the comedy shows.
For the comedy shows, for the open mics, and we just started lurking.
Well, I remember back in the day, you would post up stuff, and you had like 5 different guitars, all kinds of pedals, you had all the gear. So I know you're a musician at heart, but you don't let people know that you're a musician.
Yeah, because I'm kind of a lousy musician, I think. No, I'm just kidding. But
that's all right.
It was a passion, because the good thing about being a musician, at least personally, I was able to get gratification, fulfillment, just playing in a bedroom by myself with a guitar.
I get satisfaction playing by myself in the bedroom too sometimes.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I put that disclaimer with a guitar.
With a guitar. Yeah. So I decided, based on the fact that I knew that you were into music, I decided I wanted to do an episode talking about weird music facts.
Oh, okay.
Some of the stuff's not that weird. It's kind of interesting. But, there's I found a lot. So I kind of based it. I based some of the stuff on stuff that I found. I thought it was interesting, and I thought I'd share that with you and get your 2 cents on it, right?
All right.
For example, there's a famous musician named Mozart. Have you heard of Mozart?
Yeah, I think I've heard of that hack.
Yeah. What a hack. He sold more CDs in 2016 than Beyonce.
Are you kidding me? Really?
No, I'm not kidding you. Wow. I don't know why 2016 was such a demand for classical music. Did something come out? But he sold more CDs than Beyonce in 2016.
I'll be damned. Maybe because is that when she got married? Is that all the single ladies just
gave up on her? Yeah. I don't know. Maybe that's presidential election. Maybe people were like trying to relax a little bit.
Yeah, that was a weird year. Yeah,
it was a weird year. So, the election was in 2016, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. I think he took office in 2017 or something, right? That's the way it works. You get elected in 2016. I don't know. I have friends that are watching this that are going to send me messages and go.
Where were you when that happened?
I was at home.
You're at home?
Yeah, I was watching this thing go down. I was like, I knew it.
You know what's funny is that me and Lolo drove down to Fort Worth, and we went to go see Louis C.K.
Pandemic,
pre-scandal. And we were there. We did an open mic. I forget the name of the place we went to. I think it was Dallas that we went to.
Dallas Comedy House.
Dallas Comedy House. Yes, Lolo chimes in with
Where was it at?
Dallas Comedy House. We had the open mic there. Yeah. And then
for some reason I was thinking Phoenix. I went, they had a Dallas Comedy House in Phoenix?
Yeah, those Arizonans taking over everything, bro.
Fort Worth, yeah.
Yeah, so that's where we got our news.
Yeah, I was watching it go down, and you just see the map, and it's all turning red, and you're going like, this is insane. But I'm like, who could vote for Hillary? I mean, come on. It's like nothing against my liberal buddies, but who can vote for Hillary? Like, and now it's like, well, they voted for Biden, so I was like, here it goes, Anyway, and I'm not making a statement. I'm just saying it's like Biden. It's the best we got to offer. All right, so let's keep going with the music before we get too political. Leo Fender, the founder of his iconic electric guitar, and Bass Brand and Rock and Roll Hall of Fame inductee, never learned to play either instrument.
That's right. I knew that. Yeah.
You knew that, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Never knew how to play them.
What a poser.
Well, that's insane. But he made good guitars.
Yeah, you can't blame him. It's like he's like one of the most recognized names in at least with guitars and certain basses.
Hey, if you asked me to make you a frying pan, I could probably make you but I'm never going to cook. So I think that's kind of the way the guy looked at it.
You're a hustler, Sam. I think anything you could put your mind to, you can do it, Sam. If anybody can do it, too.
Yeah. Not a single member of the Beatles could read or write music.
Yeah, I knew that too. Yeah, and that's because Tony C is a avid.
He's Beatles fan. Beatles fan. Yeah.
Yeah, my partner and my life partner, Tony C. My Lolo.
Yeah, in Bohemian Rhapsody Freddie Mercury plays on the same piano used by Paul McCartney in Hey Jude.
I did not know that.
It's a pretty interesting fact. I don't know where we're going with that, but hey, that's a cool fact. Right?
That is a cool fact. I didn't know.
Let's see. This is funny. There are more people in Monaco's orchestra than in its army. I don't know the numbers. These are just random facts that I found. But how many people in an orchestra?
Just a bunch of nerds.
Like
they can't fight anyway, so why would you want them in the army?
I mean, isn't Monaco like as big as this? Like the whole country as big as the city or something?
Isn't that where they race too, like professional?
Yeah.
It's 85 musicians in the orchestra. And there's 80 soldiers.
That's crazy.
That is nuts, dude. Like very peaceful country. I think they probably lay low.
But Monaco is like how big? It's like the whole country is like the size of the city or something, right?
Yeah, it's just 40,000 people live there.
40,000 people. So it's as big as a small town in Texas.
That'd be funny. Like
I was out in Marble Falls a couple weeks ago, and the sign said 60,000. So it's smaller than Marble Falls.
Huh. All right.
Yeah. Okay. The most expensive instrument in the world.
It's got to be Stradivarius.
You're right. It's the Lady Blunt Stradivarius violin, which sold in 2011 for how much?
Oh, God. A Stradivarius? 10 mil.
15.9 million.
Wow. Lady Blunt, is that Lady Gaga's cousin?
I guess. I mean, Lady Blunt, either she was really straightforward in saying stuff, or she was in the marijuana. I don't know. One of the two.
Jesus. 15 million.
15.9, Lady Blunt.
Did you know that in, you seen the Tarantino movie, the most recent Western, God damn it, what's it called? Oh, the
Hateful Eight.
Hateful Eight. Yeah. There's a scene where Kurt Russell picks up a guitar and slams it and breaks it. And the actress that's playing the guitar, she freaks the fuck out because
It's a Les Paul or something?
no, it's like he thought it was a prop because they got an authentic. I think it was a Gibson or something, but like authentic Gibson from way back when. And they were supposed to switch it out, but he ended up breaking it. Yeah, and it was worth like an insane amount of money.
Wow.
So, but Kurt Russell, whatever, you know.
Yeah, Kurt Russell,
He could afford it.
Tarantino. Dang. I thought this was like a super interesting fact. And in 2015, Canadian astronaut Chris Hadfield released the first ever album recorded entirely in space named Space Sessions, Songs from a Tin Can.
Wow.
Right?
Yeah.
Canada has astronauts? That's what shocked me.
The SS Moose.
No, okay, that was a joke. But yeah, first. So it's been done. An entire record recorded in space.
Wow.
Named Songs from a Tin Can.
I bet you if they used a tin can, it'd still be better than anything I listen to with reggaeton. So.
Yeah, I know, it's like, hey, you played a can. You know,
Dude.
you know, music along with painting, poetry, and literature, and architecture.
Okay.
So it's music, painting, poetry, literature, and architecture. Was an Olympic event from 1912 to 1948.
Wow.
Right? How do you do that? That's like the most boring event ever.
Jesus.
Obviously,
man.
they weren't watching it on TV. You know,
How did we become less inclusive? Like,
is poetry literature as a sport? I don't know, bro.
Imagine the commentary.
Yeah. Ooh, look at that. Okay, look, maybe art. Bob Ross.
right, Bob
Right.
Ross.
I could watch that guy for hours. Like for real. I could watch him for hours now. But I could watch him for hours when I was a kid.
And how do you like rate good poets? Like when I go to like see poetry shows or open mics or whatever, like how do you know when a poet sucks? Like everybody's so nice. It's just like the hand claps and
I don't know. I've been to a lot of poetry open mics, and there's a lot of sucky poets. You can
is it
tell.
an extreme amount of sucky comment?
Terrible,
Dude.
right? And then they're the biggest assholes.
They
Right?
they could be. some
They're
of them
so
over there.
pompous. They get off stage, and we had to be quiet while they're doing their thing. They get off stage, and then they start congratulating each other and hugging each other while we're on stage trying to do our shit.
Yeah.
And you're like, hey, and they're like, what? We're done. And you're like, dude,
Yeah.
you know. But anyways, that's my rant against poets at open mics. Not nothing against like real poets. I don't know, like I'm bitching, but hey, I'm having fun though. I have my friend here, and we don't always get to work together, so it's glad to have him.
We're
here.
catching up,
but, and we're about to wrap this up because we're almost to our 15-minute mark.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and this podcast, people don't know, this podcast is designed so that you listen to it while you're on the John, while you're in the John. On the John, I don't know.
Order a male prostitute.
Or a male prostitute, whatever. But we're in the John. So I'll wrap it up with these last two facts. Okay.
All right.
In 2001, a study found that cows produce more milk when listening to a relaxing, and the article says music.
Music.
Sorry, couldn't resist. The music. So cows produce more milk while listening to music.
All right.
So that's interesting. I thought that was a cool fact. And in 2005, vinyl record sales only reached about 35 million. 10 years later, in 2015, sales had exploded to 416 million.
It's those hipsters, man.
Hipster movement, we can pinpoint it. It was between 2005 and 2015.
Yeah, 2015 is when they had those man buns, I think. That's probably where they were putting all those extra records just on their man buns.
The man buns, yeah.
That's what they were for.
And coincidentally, vintage bicycles and Whole Foods really did well in 2015.
The unicycles.
Unicycles. But that's steampunk, no? What is that?
Oh, yeah. No, I think it's a little... That's extreme hip... Like level... Like DEFCON 4 hipster.
Yeah, because hipsters... I used to think hipsters were like the dudes with the unicycles or the big wheel.
Yeah.
Right? Uh-huh. Like Jason Collins said one time, the guys that look like 1910 villains, but those guys are more steampunk.
Oh, okay.
The guys with the little curly mustaches and
Yeah.
old outfits. But hipsters are more like 1960s type cool kids.
Oh, so the ones that look smelly.
Yeah.
All right, with the beards.
Yeah. Anyways, that's our time. Thank you guys for joining us on this episode of The Shit with my friend Adrian Monroy. Weird music facts. There's a bunch more. We didn't get to them because we were catching up. But thank you for joining us. And I'm sorry. It's that time of the month for me. The first of the month. All the bills are due. Anyways, guys, thank you very much for joining us. Where can people find you on social media?
Most of my media is not Adrian Monroy.
Not Adrian.
It's pretty much where I'm at.
Cool. And you'll be doing stand-up English and Spanish. Come check him out in Juarez, El Paso. And you can find me as Tu Amigo Sam on social media, as well as my YouTube channel. Please like and subscribe. Hit the little bell. It helps me out a bunch. Leave some positive comments, or if you don't like it, that's cool. Leave some comments anyways. With that being said, you can also find me on all the podcast platforms as Sta Cagado Podcast. That's it for us today. Thank you for joining us. Catch you next time.
Thank you.